Howdy, y'all. Good evening. How y'all doing this evening? I hope you're all doing well. And I'm going to present another story, a Grimm's fairy tale, this evening in two parts. This is going to be the story of Aschenputtel, and this is part one. And as always, these stories are not intended for children. Aschenputtel. There was once a rich man whose wife lay sick, and when she felt her end drawing near, she called to her only daughter to come near her bed and said, "Dear child, be pious and good, and God will always take care of you, and I will look down upon you from heaven, and I will be with you." And then she closed her eyes and expired. The maiden went every day to her mother's grave and wept, and was always pious and good. When the winter came, and the snow covered the grave with a white covering, and when the sun came in the early spring and melted away, the man took to himself another wife. The new wife brought 2 children home with her, and they were beautiful and fair in appearance, but at heart they were black and ugly. And they began very evil times for the poor stepdaughter. "Is the stupid creature to sit in the same room with us?" said they. "Those who eat food must earn it. Out upon her for a kitchen maid." They took away her pretty dresses, and they put on her an old gray kirtle, and they gave her wooden shoes to wear. "Just look now at the proud princess, how she is decked out," cried they, laughing. And then they set her into the kitchen. There she was obliged to do heavy work from morning to night, get up early in the morning, draw water, make fires, cook and wash. Besides that, the sisters did their utmost to torment her, mocking her and strewing peas and lentils among the ashes, and setting her to pick them up. In the evenings, when she was quite tired out with her hard day's work, and she had no bed to lie on, she was obliged to rest on the hearth among the cinders. And as she always looked dusty and dirty, they named her Aschenputtel. It happened one day that the father went to the fair, and he asked his 2 stepdaughters what he should bring back for them. "Oh, fine clothes," shouted one. "Pearls and jewels," said the other. "But what will you have, Aschenputtel?" said he. "The first twig, father, that strikes against your hat on the way home. That is what I would like for you to bring me." So he brought for the 2 stepdaughters fine clothes, pearls, and jewels, and on his way back, as he rode through a green lane, a hazel twig struck against his hat, and he broke it off. Sorry, it's an old book. The pages stick together. And he broke it off, and he carried it home with him. And when he reached home, he gave it to the stepdaughters, what they had wished for, and to Aschenputtel he gave the hazel twig. She thanked him and went to her mother's grave, and planted this twig there, weeping so bitterly that the tears fell upon it and watered it, and it flourished and became a fine tree. Aschenputtel went to see it 3 times a day, and wept and prayed, and each time a white bird rose up from the tree, and if she uttered any wish, the bird brought her whatever she had wished for. Now it came to pass that the king ordained a festival that should last for 3 days, and to which all the beautiful young women of the country were bidden to attend, so that the king's son might choose a bride from among them. When the 2 stepdaughters heard that they too were bidden to appear, they felt very pleased, and they called Aschenputtel, and they said to her, "Comb our hair, brush our shoes, and make our buckles fast. We are going to the wedding feast at the king's castle." Aschenputtel, when she heard this, could not help but crying, for she too would have liked to go to the dance, and she begged her stepmother to allow her. "What, you, Aschenputtel," said she, "in all your dust and dirt, you want to go to the festival? You have no dress, you have no shoes, you cannot dance." But as she persisted in asking, at last the stepmother said, "I have strewn a dish full of lentils in the ashes. If you can pick them all up again in 2 hours, you may go with us." Then the maiden went to the back door that led out to in the garden, and she called out, "O gentle doves, O turtle doves, and all the birds that be, the lentils that in ashes lie, come and pick up for me. The good must be put in the dish, the bad you may eat if you wish." And there came to the kitchen window 2 white doves, and after them some turtle doves, and at last a crowd of all the birds under heaven, chirping and fluttering, and they alighted among the ashes, and the doves nodded with their heads, and they began to pick-peck, pick-peck, and then all the others began to pick-peck, pick-peck, and put all the good grains into the dish. Before an hour was all done, and then they all flew away. Then the maiden brought the dish to her stepmother, and she was feeling joyful, and she was thinking now she could go to the feast. But the stepmother said, "No, Aschenputtel, you have no proper clothes, and you do not know how to dance, and you would be laughed at." And when Aschenputtel cried for her disappointment, she added, "If you can pick up 2 dishes full of lentils out of the ashes, nice and clean, then you shall go with us," thinking to herself, that is not possible. When she had strewn 2 dishes full of lentils among the ashes, the maiden went through the back door into the garden and cried, "O gentle doves, O turtle doves, and all the birds that be, the lentils that in ashes lie, come and pick up for me. The good must be put in the dish, the bad you may eat if you wish." So there came to the kitchen window 2 white doves, then some turtle doves, and at last a crowd of all the other birds under heaven. Chirping and fluttering, they alighted among the ashes, and the doves nodded with their heads, and they began to pick-peck, pick-peck, and then all the others began to pick-peck, pick-peck, and all the good grains were put into the dish. And before half an hour was over, it was all done, and they flew away. Then the maiden took the dishes to the stepmother, feeling joyful, and thinking that now she should surely go with them to the feast. But she said, "All of this is no good to you. You cannot come with us, for you have no proper clothes, and you cannot dance, and you would put us all to shame." Then she turned her back on poor Aschenputtel and made haste to set out with her 2 proud daughters. Okay, that's where I'm going to stop part 1, and then I will come back with a part 2. So I'll see you in a little bit. Y'all be sweet.